yours. What's our intro?
How do I start this?
Oh. On top. Oh, we're both scooting. Okay.
Yeah, so we're like in the middle. Okay, ready? Hi, welcome to our channel. I'm Chloe.
I'm Margo.
And welcome to our adventure series. So here is how the story begins. We were at the barn and this one girl, we were talking to her and like, hey, why didn't you go
to the horse trial in Texas?
And she was like, oh, well, my school's prom was this weekend, so she couldn't go. And we were like, oh, okay, and didn't really think anything of it. And then...
It was later that night, we were like, what should we do tomorrow? Like, we don't have any plans.
And, like, we'd also been talking about IHOP. Mm-hmm. And Margo and I have a history of getting dressed up for no reason. And
going to IHOP. We do that frequently,
Yeah,
too.
we go to IHOP a lot. We go to IHOP.
So, we decided we were going to pretend like we were going to this prom.
Yes.
You know, to fit in with the locals around here.
Yeah.
So, we were going to dress up and go to IHOP.
We went up to my room, and it was like
11 at night.
And we started trying on prom dresses. So I had like a couple, and Margo tried those on, and none of them like were quite right for her. And then I was like, well, my mom has some dresses. And so I snuck down to my mom's bedroom, and she was like asleep because she had a 4 a.m. or 6 a.m. flight the next morning. And I snuck into her closet and got her like evening gown dresses that were kind of prom-y. Yeah. And brought them back up for Margo to try on.
And there was a gold one I tried on. It was like pretty good. Wasn't quite my style, but then I tried on a red one and it was like all like sparkly, sequensy kinda, and it was real pretty, so I chose that one.
And then I decided to actually wear my mom's red one. So
Gold one,
sorry. Instead of wearing like, because we thought it would look good, like if I was wearing like the gold sparkles and she had the red, thought it would look good for pictures together, instead of me wearing like, I have a red one and we didn't wear that.
That would have been too matchy.
Yes, too matchy.
That was pretty much it for day one, right?
Our whole plan was we were just gonna go to IHOP, like there was no...
We were just gonna get dressed up fancy and go to IHOP and that was it. And so the next day, like that afternoon, we were getting ready and Chloe curled our hair. But like, we didn't look super prom-esque. We didn't have like all the makeup. Our hair was like not fancy hair. Our nails were not done.
Yeah, mine were like chipped bad, so...
And so it wasn't like super believable.
Oh, and Margo's toes.
Oh, I have my fingernail polish that was on my toes it's really old, and so it's only on my big toes.
And all the other toes were not painted. So we didn't look really the part, but we were trying to pull it off.
Yeah. So if you looked at us from a distance, you might think it's believable.
Yeah.
So as Chloe was doing my hair, this girl that we talked about earlier, who was her prom, I looked her up on Facebook and looked through her photos until I could figure out like if she was wearing like a sweatshirt from the school or something.
Because we were trying to figure out what school she went to.
And we finally figured it out. And so we had our plan set. We knew where we were going.
Yeah, so
if anyone asked.
So like when we went to IHOP, if anybody asked, we'd be like, oh, we go to this one school. So then we also have another friend that's really close with us. She goes to college with Margo. And she wasn't there, and she didn't know anything that was happening. And she FaceTimed us while we were doing our hair. And so I'm like curling Margo's hair, and Margo answers the FaceTime.
And at this point we're like, well, I guess we may as well let her think we're actually going to prom. So we went along with it. We told her we were actually going to go to prom, and we pretended like Chloe's boyfriend couldn't go, and so I was a last minute substitution, and then it was Chloe's prom, like not that it was someone else's.
We didn't tell her that we were...
Yeah. And so we had our dress, I think we had our dresses on at this point, or at least I had my dress on.
You had your dress on.
And so she got to see like a final look of it. Like, we had our story set.
Yeah.
People were believing it.
And then when we were ready, we went downstairs and we had my dad take pictures. So I'll insert those here. And then we got in the car and started driving to IHOP. And
oh, we were driving to the IHOP near Chloe's house, but then we're like, wait a minute, if we want this to be believable, we need to go to the town where the prom is.
Right.
So we looked up IHOPs in that town, and we drove like an extra 20-something minutes just so we could eat at that IHOP.
And we got to that IHOP, and we'd sent our moms pictures of us like all fancied up in prom dresses, and neither
responded.
Yeah, they didn't respond, and we were so kind of like, we were
At
mad.
least my mom was for sure on her phone, so yeah.
We were a little mad about that, and they didn't respond until we were like
It was at IHOP.
At IHOP.
And like all they said was like, awesome.
Yeah, they gave super mediocre responses, and we were not having it.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, we walk into IHOP, and everybody's like looking at us because we're in prom dresses. And sat down at our table.
Yeah, and it was like mainly like elderly couples in there or something. And our waiter came over. He kind of just looks at us and he's like, "You guys going to a dance?"
And we were like,
yeah. And he's like, "Oh no," I was like, "We're going to prom." And he's like, "Oh cool, which one?" And
I kind of forgot, so I was just stuttering, and I was like trying to remember which school we went to. And then Margo ended up saying it, and so
he looks at us. Oh, sorry.
He's like, "You don't know what own school you go to?" And I was like, no. She doesn't go here. I go to that school.
I'm just her guest.
And he was like, "Oh, cool."
He really liked Chloe, kept flirting with her. It was cute.
He was really flirty.
Mm-hmm. He came back over later. He's like, "Oh, really? You go there? I'm a senior and I've never seen you."
Oh, hi, Remy.
Hello.
Oh, would you like to join?
Here we go.
There he is.
Meet Remy.
Well, okay, wait, where were we?
I'm a senior.
Yeah, he was like, "I'm a senior there," and I was like, "Oh, cool." And we asked him why he wasn't at prom, and he was like, "Well, I didn't have a date, and I had to work," and and we were like, "Oh."
He's like, "But if I would have seen or known you, I would have asked you to go."
And we were like, "Oh."
I don't know how do you respond to that.
I know. I was like. Anyways, and then this other couple came in, and at first it just looked like a girl wearing.
It was a NASA sweatshirt, wasn't it?
Yeah, a NASA sweatshirt and a guy in like prom tuxie attire, and so we were like, "That's weird." But then they came around the corner, and we saw that she was actually wearing a dress. She just had a sweatshirt
over because it was freezing.
And they ended up sitting right behind us. And so they go to that school, but they weren't attending prom.
No, it was her senior year, so she felt the need to get photos.
And get dressed up, but she didn't want to go to prom.
They were going to the movies to see some poor movie. Us? I think it was Us.
Yeah. Anyways, so we let them in on our secret that we were.
Yeah, they were the first to know.
They were. We told them that we were not actually from that school or going to that school. And then they gave us some valuable information.
No. So then we decided that we were gonna. Our friend earlier that we let her think that we were going to Chloe's prom. We decided that we were gonna drive by the school and just get a photo outside so that we could send it to her and be like, "Hey, look, we went to prom." And so like.
We were talking to them about that. They told us where the prom was, though, and it wasn't at that school, so we would have ended up going in front of it and nothing being there.
Yeah. So she told us where it was, and then we were like, "How hard would it be to like sneak in?" And she's like, "I don't actually know, but you should try and tell people you know me."
Yeah. What was her name?
April.
She was like, "You should totally
Shout
ask
out to
people
April.
if they know April."
So at this point, we were like, "Okay, let's just drive by." Oh, Michael, while all this is happening, comes back and he's like, "Hey, are you gonna go to any after parties?" Because I guess he was planning on going to those.
And I was like, "No."
Yeah, and I was like, "Okay, but where are they?" Because I'm not from here. And he was like, "Give me your Snapchats and I'll let you know."
So we did that at the end of the night before we left. So we gave him our Snapchats.
Which he never told us where any of the parties were.
No, he didn't message us at all.
Nothing. So yeah, that was a bummer.
So we left IHOP,
Mm-hmm.
and we Google Maps the place where the prom was held,
Mm-hmm.
and then we drove there.
And so we're pulling up, and we, like, see a bunch of people walking in, but, like, we took a few laps to get closer, and there was a table set up so you could see, like, where people were supposed to go in and give their tickets, and then there were 3 security guards right by the door, so there was no way we could, like, go in around them, and, like, there was no way to, like, go around the table. So if you were going in that door, you had to give a ticket.
Yeah, and we were just driving by really slowly, and we could see it because there were, like, glass
windows.
There's a glass window.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided that was not a viable option to getting into the prom.
Because at this point, we're like, maybe we want to try to actually get in, just to see if we can do it. And so I Googled the blueprints, and we're looking at them, and we see that there's some back entrances in the loading docks. So we're making our way over.
Like literal blueprints.
Yeah, those are available on the interweb. And so we find a door, and so Chloe puts the car in park, and she jumps out, and she's like, I'm gonna go see if it's open. And so she runs over, and it's locked. So we're like, okay, let's go, like, back in by the loading docks. And at this point, people are following us because they think we know where we're going.
They think we know how to get in.
So we take them with us into the loading docks.
And we start driving by the loading docks, and then we see in this tower, there's just, like, glass windows all the way around. And there's a security card, and you can see the, like,
you can see the guy.
You can see the TVs with all the cameras on it, and the guy was just watching us drive past.
So we quickly turned around. And we're like, okay, that's not gonna work.
But it didn't look as suspicious because a couple other people followed us through. So it was like, oh, they're just lost.
So at this point, someone actually pulls out in front of us, and we're like, okay, let's follow them because we don't really know where we're going. And the way they took us was like, the place where prom was held was attached to a hotel.
Yeah, so it was like hotel and then like event center, and they were like connected via like out hallway.
Yeah,
like something.
And so they took us around the back side of the hotel, and we found another door, and so we're like, okay, let's just kind of like pull up and see if it's open, and like someone walked up out of nowhere and just walked right in.
So we
like,
knew it was unlocked.
So we had an entrance. So, but parking wise, they had like a general parking lot.
But it was out front.
And we were in the back, and it was freezing cold. It was like 30 degrees or something crazy. No, it was like 25.
It was cold.
And we had our prom dresses on, and we brought shawls with us to IHOP, but you can't wear a shawl to prom. And so we had to park in the hotel parking, which was like a good half mile away.
Yeah, and you weren't supposed to park. So there's like a road, you know, to park there, and it's supposed to be hotel only, and there's no sidewalk or anything next to it. So we went like down that road.
Because you're supposed to go in through the hotel, so they don't need a sidewalk. Because you're not supposed to be going up it. And we're like, okay, gotta make it back to the door.
But we didn't want to go through the hotel because then they would know that we used their parking spot. It said hotel only.
So in our dresses and heels, in the 25 degrees, we ran up a hill, half a mile.
And we had to climb over a wall.
Yeah, there was like a 2.5 foot wall we had to climb over, and it was muddy. The heels got a little dirty. And we'd be running along this road, and a car would come. We'd have to jump in the grass. But it was worth it. We got up to the door.
And we got inside.
And as soon as we got inside...
So we were like, there was multiple levels, and the original level that we were looking in with the opening table was downstairs, and we had entered upstairs.
And we opened the doors, and there's just masses of gymnasts coming at us, like tiny children gymnasts. And we're talking like 1,000 people. Like it was
at least.
It was huge.
And like all their parents. And
yes. And they have like security guards that are like guiding them, telling them where to go, and most of them are all coming like down a hallway and then around a corner and down the escalator. So we're like right next to it. So Chloe like walks up to the security guard and she's like, hey, we're trying to get to prom. We got a little lost. Where do we go? And she's like,
nice.
She was really nice. She's like, you just need to go down this escalator. Just jump in the group. Just go with them. And at that point, like, we weren't sure what to do. And
you can just see his nose.
Hi. We had to decide if it'd be less obvious if we went with this massive group of gymnasts down the escalator.
Or more
obvious. And at this point, like, everyone is like staring at us. We got a few compliments on how good we looked, but it was really awkward. But we finally decided to just go with the group.
So we jumped in, we went down the escalators, and then, so in the escalators, like, we went down the escalators, and then if you went straight after going through the escalators, you would end up running into the table and, like, the red carpety entrance, and it was blocked off by curtains. So first we went to the bathroom, because we were like, how are we going to get in?
Yeah.
We needed a plan.
So we're in the bathroom, and we took some, like, traditional, like, prom in the mirror photos, because that's what people do.
Yep.
And we're like, okay, so we just got to figure out how to, like, how it works, like, where people are walking. So,
and, like, where the ticket collectors are, and...
So, Chloe comes out, and she goes over the curtain and just, like, opens it up.
We were peeping through the curtains.
And we're watching people as they, like, give their ticket and then walk through the red carpet and get their photos taken. And then they handed them...
It was raffle tickets. Because everybody got raffle tickets. But we first thought that they were collecting tickets.
Yeah, so we're like, if that's the case, because that was, like, right through the only door you could go through. Because we, like, got back to the blueprints.
Oh, yeah, we went back.
We were like, is there any way you could get from this ballroom to, like, a different ballroom?
Yeah. Like, if we could enter in the other ones and if they were connected. But no, you couldn't.
So we're watching, and we finally discover that, like, that's not where they're taking the tickets. Like, we just got to get around the ticket table.
Yes.
And at this point, we're kind of like, what do we, like, do we call it quits? Do we keep going? Because we're like, we don't know how we're going to get in there. So we're like, let's go back to the bathroom and make another plan. So we're walking back that way, and all of a sudden, these guys come out of the guys' bathroom, and they just, like, jump back behind the curtain and just walk in.
Yeah, it was like...
It was
person wide.
Yeah, 1.5 feet, 2 feet.
Yeah. And they just walked in and walked straight through the doors into prom. So we were like...
That's where we're going. Just pretend like you own the place, and we just walked straight through. And they had, like, a guy, it might have been the principal, we don't know.
Yeah.
And he was standing right in the doorway, and we, like, made eye contact, but we just kept on
going.
going.
Were confident and strutted in.
And then we were in. So success! Kind of weird. Obviously, we didn't really, like, know anybody except for the one girl.
Yeah, we kept looking for her.
Yeah, we kept looking. Didn't ever see her. Don't know. But we got there at, like, 9 o'clock, and we left at 9:30, and people were still just showing up.
Yeah, they were showing up late.
And they announced while we were there, like, only 1 hour left. So maybe she wasn't there yet. We don't know. But we got a couple people to take photos of us.
In front of the, like, the decorations.
They were really bad.
They were pathetic.
They were clearly on a low budget for this prom.
Which is weird, because it's, like, in a wealthy school district.
Yeah. So
kind of sucked.
We'll have to show them our photo of us with our star.
Yep. So we did that, and then...
We didn't stay long. Chloe danced to the wobble song.
Yes. And then we got some goodies.
Oh yeah, they had brownies and lemonade, so we stole those.
And we walked out. And then this...
we tried to go out the way we came in, and we were going to sneak out the back, and there was a guy there. Yeah.
There was, like, this security guardy person.
So I guess he caught on to people going to those bathrooms, and
he was like, "Excuse me, ladies, restroom?" And we were like, "Huh?" And he was like, "That way." So he directed us to another bathroom.
That was still in the prom area.
And we walked in there.
Yeah. Oh, and at this point, we were, like, freaking out. We're like, is this a prom where you just stay till the very end?
Because at my school's prom, you have to stay until the end unless you get parental permission. So it's not an option. Like, you have to stay. And we were like, oh God, did we just go to a prom that we can't leave?
So there were these other girls in there, and we're like, hey, do you know, like, can we leave this prom early? And they're like, yeah? So they probably, like, they knew something was up, probably. And so...
They're probably really confused.
Yeah. So we just left, and we started...
There was that lady.
Oh, so we start walking out, and this lady stops us.
She's like, excuse me.
She's like, are you girls leaving? Yes. And she's like, okay, once you're out, you're out. You can't come back in. We're like, well, we've already done that one, so...
We're like, okay.
So we're like, yeah, we're leaving. She's like, okay, have a good night.
And then
we were... Wow. So... The security guards were still there, and they were expecting us to go out the door. You're supposed to go out.
Where everybody else was parked.
And we turned the other way
Up the escalators.
to go back towards the hotel. And they were like, ladies, are you leaving?
And we were like,
Yes.
yeah.
And they're like, okay.
Have a good night.
And yeah, Chloe took forever to get on the escalator, so I was up at the top, all alone.
I did not take that long.
We were separated. It was stressing me out.
Well, we went back up the escalators.
And we had to run back down
oh my God,
the
it was
hill.
so cold.
Oh, my shoes. I was wearing Chloe's mom's heels because I didn't plan on doing this. So I didn't bring heels with me. And they were a little too small, so they were a little painful. And we're running for our second half mile of the night in these heels. And so we make it down to the bottom.
Of the hill.
And then
this lady was like in her car and she was kind of circling the parking lot. And she rolls down her window next to us and she's like, "Are you girls leaving?" And we were like, yeah. And she was like, "Can I have your parking spot?"
So at that point, the heels came off.
Yeah, Margo took her shoes off.
I ran barefoot through a hotel parking lot.
It was a long parking lot too.
And we were in the back.
Yeah,
It's
we were
probably more
all
than a
in the
half a
back.
mile.
Yeah.
And
We gave her a parking spot.
we did. And then we went to another friend's house and we had our after party there.
Yeah, she made us cookies.
Yeah, it was really good cookies.
Yeah.
They were like Reese's peanut butter cookies.
And we told her our story.
We were like lots of adrenaline.
Yeah.
'Cause, we're good kids. And this was our rebellious thing we did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
That's the story of how we crashed prom that neither of us go to.
yeah. We're kind of, I mean, we didn't really know whether or not to tell
Oh, that
the girl at the
girl.
barn.
So she still has like no idea unless like Emma told her, but I don't know if she would have. So yeah, at this point, hopefully she doesn't see this.
Okay, well, thanks for watching.
We'll update you on our next adventure.
Yeah, stay in tuned for the adventures of Margo and Chloe.
Oh wait. Wait, do your other hand so it's not as painful. Oh wait. We need to work on that.